All right. Hello, hello, everybody. I was thinking about the name that I gave this Zoom this week. And I was thinking, I said, starting and keeping your business strong. And I was talking to Jason about it. And I said, I should really write how to begin or maintain momentum on your team. That's really kind of what it's going to be all about. So I'm kind of anxious to share sort of, I don't know, so to some of you guys, this might seem like gee whiz stuff, like, yes, I should be doing these things. But to me, it's always good to have a refresher of, yes, these are the things I need to be doing. I mean, I need to get out of a rut and start really causing momentum to happen on our team firsthand. So, because we are kind of in charge of that. The team kind of follows what we do. And we are the example for our teams. So you have to be, the runner that you're looking for. But even now, this, late in the game, over 2 years into it, I'm constantly trying to decide where my setbacks are. And when I meet new people, I have sometimes a hard time talking about Plexus when they're when I'm brand new relationship, have a brand new relationship with them, or cold messaging them, or just reaching out to them in general. Obviously, we all always want to be fostering new relationships, but I constantly have to tell myself just to stop caring what people think and get over myself and just ask people to join me. And I'm so surprised when I do that with people I don't know that well, might have met online or in a group or face-to-face a couple times and don't have a super deep relationship with yet. I just, flat out tell them what I'm doing and tell them that the products are amazing. I know they're going to love them. I can tell they have a great personality and that they have a lot of integrity and a huge network and they would be so good at this. And would they be interested in me sharing more information with them? And I've been really surprised at the response I've gotten from that. And just not being so timid to reach out to either new people and old relationship I've had. But I really need to get out of my own way. And so that's some huge advice that I could give you guys right off the bat is to just ask, because you'd be so surprised who is interested in either starting a hobby side business or looking for a serious way to make extra income for their family. Because I've been very, very surprised just lately in what kind of response I've been getting from leading with the business with people. Because sometimes it can be hard to lead with products when you aren't sure about someone's health issues or someone's health background or anything. It can be hard to do that. But almost everyone you meet has some type of financial stress or financial struggle. So it's kind of a commonality that you can talk about. And new opportunities are always fun, and you can kind of figure out their color personality and what they might be interested in and reach out to them that way. Are they interested in being a part of a team and all the fun that goes along with that? Or are they really looking to make a difference in other people's lives or help their friends and family? Or are they somebody who really needs to make that extra money and needs to climb the ranks in this business to get all those bonuses and perks and all that? Because everybody has a need like that. And so we can forget about that sometimes, that people really are desperate for an opportunity like this. So first of all, get out of your own way and just ask people, because most of the time, the relationships that you have around you, if they're not super close to you, if it's not someone like directly in your, first degree market, it's probably someone that if you feel like you're bugging someone or they say no or whatever, you probably don't have a lot of interaction with them anyway, most of the time. I mean, most of us have networks. Our immediate networks are fairly small, but the people we might be extending to, reaching out to, are either newer friends or people we don't talk to all the time, or second and third circles out. So, who cares? Just go for it. It's like you don't have a ton of interaction with them anyway, so just go for it, because you're really just setting yourself back. And a lot of you have probably heard the either the coffee analogy or the gum analogy. It's offering someone, asking someone if they're interested in trying the products or trying the business is similar to somebody coming up to you and saying, hey, do you want a stick of gum? And you might want one, you might not, but it's nothing against that person who's asking you. It's not like you don't like them, you're not friends with them anymore. It's just in that time, in that season, is in that moment, you're not interested in that product, whatever it is. And that's just fine. So don't be so sensitive and don't let your feelings get hurt if someone's not interested, because most of the time you'll send someone a message like the one I was saying earlier, and most people will say no because they're not looking for an opportunity like that. But you might be their first point of contact about Plexus and about this opportunity, and now they will be more in tune to watch what you're doing and see how you're progressing and what information you can offer them, and they might become more interested in the business or the products by you reaching out to them, and now it's on their radar, whereas before it might not have been. So, and even a conversation with them, if it's through Facebook Messenger, if it happens to be, if it's not face-to-face or on the phone or an email or something, most of the time messaging them and having a conversation with them will cause them to see your post more often anyway. So they'll have better exposure to your information also. So first thing, reach out to people. Don't be scared of it. Do it. Lead with the business. You'd be surprised at what kind of information you get back and what kind of response you get from that. I wrote a bunch of notes of things I want to talk about, so I'll be looking down every now and then. But another thing that I started doing, and it's actually been really interesting. I've actually done this with potentials and inactive ambassadors. So whenever the team hits a new rank or promotion, or any incentives are earned or any trips are earned, reach back out to those people and let them know that, hey, I don't know if you saw, but, we just went on this great trip that we earned, or we just, hit this new promotion, or we just earned this incentive. And I still have you in the back of my mind. I know you would be amazing at this business. I know you would absolutely rock it because of reasons X, Y, Z. And you can talk about their network, their personality, what kind of person they are, what they're interested in, what kind of things motivate them, all of that. So when you hit certain promotions or incentives, it's great to reach out to those people and say, hey, I wish you were doing this alongside me or my friends and I, to just kind of reach back out again and see how they're doing, because often those incentives and promotions and events are weeks and months apart. So it's not like you're messaging them like a week after you last talked to them. It might be like, hey, our business is going great. Our team is rocking it. We're earning stuff. We're having fun. Making some side money, whatever they're interested in, and to touch back in with them is a really great way to make contact again, because I've actually had people say, you know what? Yeah, I had, this is an active ambassador said this to me. They said, yeah, I want to give, the products another really good try because I didn't give them, enough time before. And I really think that they could be something that I could tell my friends and family about, because I have, a mom with this health issue and a friend with this, and blah, blah. And so they kind of got their wheels turning after I reached out to them again. It kind of pushes them over that, that tipping point to try again and maybe be more involved in the business when they weren't last time. So for, potentials you reach out to and inactive ambassadors, I've done that as well. So that's something that you can think about when you're reaching out or as you hit certain milestones and things. But as you are, reaching out, making new contacts, and just keeping things going, focusing on your IPAs, always remember that success loves speed. And we've heard that before from a lot of diamonds, but it's so true. I mean, you might have heard this before too, that it is all a numbers game. The more people you reach out to, the higher the likelihood you're going to have someone that's going to want to join your team. So you got to focus on those IPAs. Don't get stuck scrolling. And I know we have a lot of challenges and events going on right now. And I know it's easy to get in there and comment on everybody's, posts every day and just kind of do a lot of time wasters and watch a lot of training videos and click around, do all that. But make your priorities reaching out to new people, forming new relationships, and following up with potentials. I mean, that is the bread and butter of your business. And the more you can do, the faster you can do it, the better your business is going to be, the more momentum your business is going to have. So you really have to go all in and go as fast as you can. I mean, you choose your own speed. So if you choose to contact 3 people every week, then it's going to take you a while to find someone. If you think of every 10 people you contact, maybe 2 of them might want to try the products or might want to, join for the business. I mean, in my experience, I'd say like when I did my first Frank's list or so, if I contacted 100 people, I think probably maybe 12 or 15 of them ended up being customers or joining. So think about that kind of ratio. So if you have, 1 or maybe 2 in 10, how long is it taking you to get to 10 people? And are they people would really benefit from the products and really benefit from the business or rock the business? Or are they just random names you scribbled out on a list? Are they people you really thought about the qualities that would make them good at this business, or the health and lifestyle issues they might have that might make them a good fit for our product? So think about who you're reaching out to, how many you're really reaching out to, and how, a ratio like 1 or 2 in 10, so 10 or 20% actually, coming back with a positive response. Think about your activity and how fast you want to run with that, and how fast you want to grow your team, and how fast you want to rank up, because again, your team is going to follow what you do. So, and when you reach out to people and you're setting aside that time to do your IPAs, when you have those touches on those people, and yes, they aren't interested, keep that momentum high. Don't let, no tear you down, because it's all in the no. The more no's you get, the closer you are to a yes. And again, it's super, super, I guess it's important to remember it as a numbers game. I mean, it's all about how many people can you touch, and are they quality contacts? So that's something I have kind of started focusing on more, is really reaching out to dream teamers and telling people why I think they would be so good at this, or why they would enjoy our product so much, and not shying away from that, because I'm really looking for people who are a good fit for this business and our products. That's the important thing. I mean, I don't want you to reach out to people that off the bat might not be a great fit for their personality. If there's somebody who's super negative all the time and they're always complaining, and maybe they're, I don't know, somebody who appears really lazy, like, you don't want that type of person on your team anyway. So even if reaching out to them isn't something that's scary for you, so you're like, oh, sure, I'll message them to, check that box, is that somebody you want to focus your time on or not? Like, do you want to go after someone who might be a little scary to reach out to, but is a total rock star and is really successful in everything they're doing, and, could really benefit from these products, but is a go-getter, and you really want that type of person on your team? So, and after you reach out to them, like I said, they're gonna see what you're doing. So go after those incentives. Be consistent in participating in like Zooms like this one, and trainings and challenges and events in your area. Put on events. Get involved with community events if you can. I mean, the more consistency you can have, and the more seriousness you can show about your business, the more serious other people will take your business, because they're always only going to believe as much passion as you put out there. So if you are dialing back a bit, or taking a break, or you forget to post this day, or you're not actively training yourself, or you're not actively reaching out and spreading Plexus with others, then other people honestly aren't going to take you very seriously. And it's pretty hard to come back from like a posting hiatus or reaching out hiatus. I would encourage you to at least keep your minimum IPAs active, even in busy times in your life, because people will think that maybe the products didn't work, or the business wasn't all it was cracked up to be, and it's hard to come back from that. It really, really is. You don't want to cause any doubt in your friends and family network at all. So I wouldn't try to self-inflict that by taking any kind of break. So if you can manage to stay organized and stay consistent, and really set aside the time you need to do your IPAs, and make sure you have your posts set up and you know what you're doing, and set aside the time to keep training yourself and talking to people and making new relationships, that's going to be key, because people are watching you, and they're watching what you're doing, even though you aren't, getting interaction on your Facebook posts, or even though your cousin Susie said no, or whatever. Everybody's watching you. Everyone is watching you. And unfortunately, a lot of those people might be watching for you to take a break and say, this isn't all it's cracked up to be, and say, this isn't what I expected, or maybe even fail. Unfortunately, you might have people that are waiting for that to happen to you. I know I did. And I had people question me and say, I'll see how you do when you get to a year. When I first joined, like, I'll see if this is still around if you're still doing a year from now. And so, it was a year later. I'm like, hey, what's up? Still here. And now it's been 2 years, and I have a lot more of those people joining me. So there's people waiting that are hardcore skeptics, and they're just waiting for you to fall off the map with this opportunity. And don't let them don't let them win, because it's not worth it. It's not worth that kind of break and let doubt creep in anyone's mind. So do not let that happen. When you're posting on Facebook, always remember, I always include this reminder, make sure it's always positive and has a common theme of, healthy lifestyle. It's fun. It is inspiring. It is motivational. It is, referring to any type of health or financial freedom that you or a friend or any type of, Plexus testimony that you found has in it. Bettering yourself, making good choices for you and your family, putting a smile on people's faces. Just remember that when you're posting things, put it through that lens. Is it something that would attract you? And is it something you would want somebody on your team to post? Is it something that would be causing engagement from other people? Positive, engaging posts are amazing. So if you can get interaction on your post, that's wonderful. And you really want to add value to people. So if you have anything in your back pocket that's some information or, something you know how to do that other people really don't, or something you just learned how to do that you can show your network that you know how to do now, that's kind of cool. Whether that's, a hidden talent of yours or some skill you have about, maybe you're really crafty and you know how to do, you know how to knit stuff. I don't know. I don't, but maybe you're a really good cook, or maybe you're a really good baker, or maybe, I don't know, maybe you sew all your kids' Halloween costumes and what, I don't know. So whatever that is, share that and add value to your network, because that type of interest is what's going to cause them to become more and more interactive and more interested and more engaged with your posting. So remember that also. So to be interesting as well as positive and fun and motivational and focus on healthy lifestyle for you and your family and all that. So just remember that when you're posting as well. Because honestly, Facebook is your storefront, but it's not your whole business. So it's all you're doing by posting on Facebook is saying, hey, we're open and this, this is what we have to offer. That's like bare minimum, is saying you're open. That's like your open sign is saying, posting on social media, both Facebook and Instagram, but I default to Facebook a lot of the time. But whatever social networks you're on, that's just saying you're open for business, but you have to actively go out and get that business also. So you have to be, be the one going out and messaging and stuff. And you want your storefront to be desirable. You don't want it to be this shabby rundown building. You want it to be fresh and new and exciting and vibrant. So think about that when you're posting, what kind of vibe you're giving off. And just remember that it's not enough by itself. And you can't take breaks, because that's telling the world that you're closed for business. And they might see the next person post about Plexus and they'll say, hey, my friend Susie was posted about Plexus before. I never tried it, but I guess she's not doing that anymore. So I saw this friend posting, so I guess I'm going to ask her about it now. And I've watched that happen to people. Don't let that happen to you, because people have been watching and somebody has stopped, and then a friend of theirs has kind of been posting something at the right time for them to join them. And it can be a kind of bummer when you take a slow down, you decide to slow down and take a break, and somebody else that you were like, darn it, I was hoping, they're a friend of mine, that they would join me, and they all of a sudden join one of your friends, down the street or whatever. So don't let that happen. Also decide to do the work. Do the work of the people that you're trying to find. You need to be the rock star that you're trying to find, and the work you would want them to be doing, you need to be doing it. So always be meeting new people. Always be expanding your network. Always be expanding your network. Be posting, reaching out, following up, and follow up with people after they've become a customer or ambassador, and follow up with them regularly. I'm saying not just once or twice in the first month and then hoping they continue their products. 2 years later, am following up every single month with every single ambassador of mine that has been with me since the beginning. And I'm making sure they're happy with their products, or we're troubleshooting in any way, or as their health needs grow and change, or maybe family members, maybe they have kids that want X Factor kids now, or, ask them about their life, ask them about their family, keep people around, keep them consistent, keep them engaged, make them feel like they're a part of something, So keep that activity high, do your IPAs, and keep your team growing and strong as you're having this influx of new people. You can't forget about people, because if you don't talk to them, you will lose them. You will. And they won't feel like they have any connection to you. They won't feel like they have a personal relationship with you. It'll seem like it was like, all right, I got your sale and bye. I mean, yeah, you might have helped them through the products like the first 2 months, but if it's 6, 7 months later and you haven't talked to them in a couple months, you need to check back in, and you need to be checking in, every couple months and make sure everything's okay. And it doesn't have to be about Plexus all the time. Ask them about their life. Ask them how, what they're doing for their holidays. What are they doing for Thanksgiving? How is it going? It doesn't have to be, if there's someone who's been on the products for a long time and everything might be okay right now, then don't talk about Plexus for a while, and then maybe a couple months down the road, then mention it again. And maybe they want to try a new product, or maybe, ask about anything that needs to be, if they need to be troubleshooting, or if they're, staying healthy through the holidays, if they had any sickness around them and how they're feeling, because, maybe it's time to, adjust some things, or maybe their water intake has fallen off, or whatever, so keep people around after they've joined you as well. So that's part of building a strong foundation on your team and keeping people consistent and keeping your team growing. Because if you have more attrition than there is new people, then you're really just treading water. So, and if you're having more attrition, I guess attrition's even, and you're having, as you have new people, then you're treading water. But if you have more attrition than you do new people, then you're going backwards. So, sorry, I messed it up, but you know what I'm saying. You really want to make sure you don't have people just falling off as fast as you're having them join you. So both of those are very, very important. Let's see, I said show up to, did I say this already? I don't know. Make sure you're showing up to all the challenges that are offered to us, all the training opportunities that are offered to us, because they're very important. And if you don't have that accountability of a challenge that's being offered to you, you have to be very, very diligent to be accountable to yourself. Because no one, when you're sitting at home in your PJs on a Sunday morning, no one is there knocking at your door saying, hey, have you done your IPAs today? It's all on you. So any of these accountability groups, or even online events that we have going on, 7-day trials, things like that, Zoom events, get plugged into those, because it makes sure that Plexus is always top of mind for you, and it keeps you reaching out to new people. It keeps you messaging people. It keeps you following up with people, and it keeps you training. So stay on top of all the events, involve yourself in all of them, and make sure I'm happy all of you are here on the Zoom, and most of you are in all the challenges we have going on. So that's awesome. And really strive for those incentives, man. If it is something that you're like, oh, I'm not going to earn that or whatever, really, really go for it, because you might surprise yourself. And in the meantime, if it's an incentive that you feel like is far out of reach, first of all, why are you telling yourself that? You should be telling yourself you can do it and you will do it. And second of all, in trying, if you don't reach it, so what? You just probably trained yourself a lot, reached out to a lot of new people, and probably grew your team or customer base. So even if you don't earn something, don't let that set you back, and don't ever get discouraged before, the time to earn the incentive has even ended. So go for it all, man. Go big or go home. That's my motto. So just go for it. And when people are talking to you about Plexus, either you're reaching out to them or they're reaching back out to you, have a really, really intense sense of urgency. Respond to them as quickly as possible. Be as positive and as excited as possible about them reaching out to you, and any information you can provide for them. Let them know that, you have heard stories of people, you have, testimonies of people that have exactly what they're dealing with. You're so excited because this is going to be a life changer for them. They're going to feel incredible, blah, blah, blah. Whatever you're talking about, respond to them quickly, concisely, and with positive, encouraging, exciting information that keeps them going. And always end with a question. Always, ask them if that sounds like products they might like to try, or if that sounds like what they might be looking for relief from, or or these things that they might be interested in hearing more about, or whatever. Always end with a question, so that the ball's in their court to respond, and that you have a reason to follow back up if you didn't hear from them. You can mention that, hey, I sent this to you, didn't hear back from you. Am I on the right track with this information? Is this what you're looking for? Or it gives you a reason to follow back up, because you asked them a question that was unanswered, that might have been unanswered. So just remember that when you are reaching out to people as well. And as you grow your team and grow your customer base, don't forget to support them on social media. I mean, you want to be the person that is not only following up with them in private, but publicly encouraging them, interacting with them, supporting them, and showing them that you are somebody who is part of a community of people that are encouraging and supportive and uplifting, and you know, let them know that they're a part of something important. Sorry, my son just running outside the door if you heard that. You know, comment on their social media posts. If you see them in public, talk about their life. Don't make everything about Plexus, and really show that you care and they're a part of something, you know, bigger than just Plexus. As your team grows, and you might get a couple people working the business with you alongside you, decide who kind of the top 20% of those people on your team are. So who are the people who are doing the most work, or being the most involved, who are kind of producing, who are the producers on your team, who are producing the most results, and who are involved in everything, and who are growing their teams and growing their customer base and really reaching out to people. Who is that? Identify who that is, you know, who those runners are, and pour into those people. Link arms with those people, train those people. I really try to be at, you know, my top leaders every beck and call, because I want those people to, you know, receive my full attention and be able to have me pour into them as much as possible, so I can share resources with them and run alongside them. And I, you know, say, it's the 80-20 rule. The top 20% should take 80% of your time. You should allow those people to really receive most of your attention, because they are the people that are helping you, you know, helping you reciprocally. You're helping them, and they're helping you, you know, build this great business and have, you know, all this amazing residual income that you're after, and, you know, grow this incredible team and help so many people. So those people should be taking most of your attention, and you really want to be there to support them however they need your support. And like I said, everybody else, you obviously want to be following up with them and keep them consistent, but the people that you're really running alongside with are the people that you're going to be seeing and talking to all the time. You need to not forget about them. So also two more things, but be coachable. So if you're listening to some of these trainings or some of these challenge posts or things like that, and somebody who's highly successful is posting about something or talking about something, training about something that's really working for them and their team, or they're talking about a certain, you know, mindset that you need to have, or an outlook, or, you know, a certain messaging technique, or whatever it is, if someone's telling you something that's working for them and they're obviously successful in this business, take a look at what you're doing and put those things into practice. I don't want to say just, you know, watch a video, take notes, and forget it. If it's something that's really successful and working for other people, do not be too proud and too stubborn to alter what you're doing, because really you're hindering your own success. So you can watch all the trainings in the world and take all the notes in the world, but if you're not acting on that new information, then it doesn't do any good. So all these challenges and training that we're doing, you really, really have to take a step back and say, okay, how can I put this into practice after you watch a training? And really focus on setting aside time to do so and alter what you're doing so that the path of your business, you know, starts skyrocketing. And I will say that you will get stuck if you haven't already. You will get to a point where your warm market will be kind of cold. It'll seem like you talked to everybody already. That's why even before that happens to you, you need to always be expanding your network, always meeting new people, always going to new events and joining interest groups on Facebook, and joining community events and going to things like that, and everything you're invited to, just go. Even though you might not want to. I mean, I'm a super introvert, so I don't love like big social gatherings, but I go because I know that there's going to be tons of people here that I don't know and I haven't talked to before, and I can meet them and form a relationship with them and try to find some commonalities between us. So think of it that way. Even before you get stuck, focus on expanding your network, because you will get stuck. It will happen. If you are not growing your warm market, there will come a point where you feel like you've reached out to everybody and you're kind of sitting stagnant. And so that's where being coachable is key. You got to alter your mindset, reach out to new people, and start creating new opportunities for you to meet new people. Let's see, what else? Oh, I said this already, but remember, think of the type of person you're looking for. If it's someone who is, you know, really independent and a self-starter, and maybe, you know, enjoys achievement and is a go-getter and is somebody who has a huge network and is really positive, then you need to be that person too. you need to be that person so you can attract that person, because your team will only go as quickly and be as positive and be as productive as you are. So you always have to remember that you are setting the bar of the type of people you attract and the type of team you are fostering. So just remember that moving forward. And those are, kind of some ways to just have a refresher on what can keep you in momentum and what can keep your business strong. So I don't know. I hope that was helpful for you guys tonight.